Hello, everyone. This is the Parks Academy, where we discuss and celebrate all things theme parks related. We focus mainly on Disney parks and resorts in both Anaheim and Orlando. My name is Paige.
My name is Steven.
And today we will be talking about Disney in 2023.
Yeah, so we took a little bit of a hiatus during December because we just kind of felt like, well, podcasting was just becoming overwhelming. We had family out, we had holidays to celebrate, we had stuff going on, and we just kind of felt like it would be appropriate for us to just take a sabbatical of the show, for a little while, just to kind of refocus ourselves a little and not to keep it light and not pressure. I feel like to pressure ourselves to like put something out every week and be ready, especially with a really busy time of year. I really appreciated it a lot. I think it was helpful.
Yeah, it definitely was helpful.
Yeah. So we obviously we're gonna talk about like, I feel like I have to get myself back in the swing of this. I feel rusty. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Disney and like what we're looking forward to in 2023. And what plans we tentatively have, what we're hoping to do, what is feasible and what's not feasible. And then we also just kind of want to talk about, what's coming from Disney this year that we are excited about. And I think I have a lot, actually. But I think that instead of doing the whole, like, what you're excited about segment, I think we should kick off the year with talking a little bit about Christmas, because we both bought each other some cool Disney stuff. And I feel like it'd be cool to mention some of that.
So we got a lot of Disney stuff between each other and other people getting things for us. My birthday actually also happens to fall right at the end of November, so I kind of get like double presents within 1 month. I got a pair of Disney joggers. They're like pajama sweatpants kind of things, and it was the Christmas ones, and they are so cute. I got a new Christmas Loungefly. I we a Mickey Mouse Lego puzzle that also can be a Minnie Mouse Lego puzzle.
Yeah, the Target one, yep.
Yes. We got a like Sherpa lined Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse blanket that is Christmas themed.
Yeah.
We got a Minnie and Mickey Disney train to go around our Christmas tree.
Yeah. Well, so let me just preface really quick. Her parents went to Disney World like second week of December, and so they had Disney and Christmas on their mind, and they ended up just buying a lot of stuff that was both for us and for our kid.
Correct.
So it was really cool.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Well, you got me the remote control R2W50.
I did.
And the funny, so this is like an
You're welcome.
This is an R2D2, and it's the remote control version. It's a big one. It's like a Droid Factory sort of remote control R2 unit, but this one, it has the iridescent colors on it. And the funny thing about it is that when we were in Disney World in October, we were in the World of Disney on our first day, and I walked right up to this thing, and I was like, that is the best thing I've ever seen. I really, really, really want it. And obviously, like, we bring our gift cards and we have cash to spend, but I'm like, I'm not spending my money on this. Like, that's insane. And so then Paige brings down the gifts from upstairs after she had wrapped them, and we brought them down like a couple days early. And she puts it under the tree, and I take one look at the gift, and I'm like, I know what that shape is, but there's no way that's what I think it is. Like, there's absolutely no way on earth that she got me a remote control droid, because first of all, that's like totally impractical for me, but also like I just didn't expect it, and she did, which was great. She also picked me up like a little R2D2 retro pop figure that's like a Target exclusive, and I'm really, really ashamed to even say this and have it be on record, but I actually did complete the collection of the retro series Star Wars pop figures. There was like 7 of them, and I have all of them. No, there were 8 of them, and I have all of them.
They look great.
They're awesome, and they're up on my in my office. But yeah, that was cool. And then I was not expecting this at all, but my in-laws bought me a Magic Band Plus. Is that what it's called? Magic Band Plus?
Correct.
Yeah.
The Star Wars.
It was the
Christmas
Star Wars
one.
holiday one, and it was also kind of added on with like a wink wink next Christmas, we should all go. And Paige and I, we have that sort of in the back of our minds as to like whether or not that's going to be an option for us this coming year. Because we definitely have some other Disney things we want to do this year, and a thing in February that is Disney that we are definitely going to do. So yeah, it was cool. It was a very Star Wars Christmas for me. I bought an inflatable R2-D2 on an X-wing for our front yard.
And we already have an R2-D2 in our front yard.
Yeah, he has like a little glass ornament with C-3PO's face on it. So I went kind of hard with that, but it was really good. It was a lot of fun.
It was great.
Yeah, and then I'm not even going to go into what our kid got that was like Disney themed because it was too much.
Most every single gift that she received was some Disney IP, whether it be Bluey or Minnie Mouse,
Moana,
or Mickey Mouse or Moana, or Disney Princess, Little People.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Everything was Disney.
Yeah, so
So happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. It's not about the gifts, it's about the people. But we got a lot of Disney stuff and it was weird. Okay, so I think what we should do is I don't really want to spend a time like reviewing like, oh, this is coming and this is coming. I just would rather talk about like what we're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And then just top of mind really quick because we never covered this. Bob Iger is back, so cool. I know we're super late to the game,
whoop, whoop.
But this all happened.
We're only late to the game because we were not podcasting, but we had lots of conversation about this.
Yeah, really happy, really excited.
We are both fairly ecstatic about this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good one.
We think it's going to be a good positive change for the company. We're looking forward to seeing what things change, what new things happen. What things are maybe hopefully brought back. So we'll see. Looking forward to this year of big things for Disney.
Yeah, so I'm going to start it off with the most obvious thing that I can think of, and that is that in 26 days, Disneyland is going to be kicking off its Disney 100 celebration in California. And when I first saw the news of this, like a total revamp of A World of Color, Mickey and Minnie's is coming to Toontown with an entirely new like Toontown construction in Disneyland. There's new like castle shows. There's going to be new parades and stuff. And then there's actually like really, really cool Disney 100 merch that I'm actually really interested in. We have discussed maybe doing a Disneyland trip this year just because of this 100th, celebration that's happening. I think we'll just talk about it all as if like we are doing it, but we don't know for sure. But I would really, this is something that we are really excited about. Like I'm really excited about it, and I would love to experience this because it just seems like a lot of fun. I remember the Disneyland 50th, and that was really cool. And then the 60th anniversary as well in Disneyland was great. But this like Disney 100, celebrating the entire company, just I want to see it, and I think that I'm hoping we can.
Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing all of the things that come out of it. I'm expecting a lot of cute things available in Disneyland, like themed snacks, and we've already gotten a peek at a lot of the merchandise like Steven mentioned. The stuff is really, really cute. I really like it.
Yeah, I
just sort of reminiscent of the iridescent kind of look,
but it's all like silver, right?
It's all silvery and metallic kind of looking. So
yeah, I really
like that style.
Yeah, and I like the sort of black and white looking Mickey and Minnie that represent it. And like the sort of like the dripping silver. I don't know if it's silver or platinum or what, but I like the drip look on some of like the ears. It seems really cool, and I'm gonna get FOMO if I don't check it out. So, one of the things that I'm most excited about with the Disney 100 is that they are revamping World of Color. It's going to be, I feel like it's been around a lot longer than 13 years, but it would have been 13 years since World of Color first debuted in DCA. And it seems cool. There's going to be, it looks like to me, there's going to be some new like Lion King stuff, Mulan, Encanto, Coco, Moana, and then Soul with Joe Gardner. Those are just some of like the concept art pieces that we get. And then there's this really cool looking globe in the middle of the water that's kind of like has ripples and they're colored. So that to me seems in and of itself reason enough to go see a new show.
That concept art is like bringing me back to Epcot Illuminations.
Yeah, right.
With the
And
globe in the middle.
Regrettably, we never even saw Harmonious.
I know.
So,
we just missed it last time.
I know. Yeah, and then they're getting rid of it because I guess it flopped for some reason. But yeah, I'm really hoping to do that. And then one of the other things, if we do end up in Disneyland this year, I also really want to stay on property. But that is not a cheap thing to do. So hopefully prices will go down a little bit. I'm not like banking on that as a factor in our decision making.
Well, I think it's very unlikely that during the 100th celebration, during, what are they calling it, 100 Years of Wonder, I think.
Yeah.
That they would reduce the prices because I don't think they're having any issue with bringing the crowds back, especially in Disneyland. You have so many locals that go to Disneyland. So the demand, they would want people to come stay in the hotels. But I think that you're going to get a lot of people who are going to make the trip out to Disneyland for the 100th since they're the ones that are celebrating it in a big way.
Totally. Walt Disney World, I feel like there's a lot to be excited about out there for 2023. This may be a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sorry, but I think that the 50th anniversary being over with is going to be welcomed. Probably, it's cool, but I think it'll be nice to just kind of get back into the regular old Disney World thing, especially in Magic Kingdom.
I loved the 50th. I loved the iridescent outfits. I loved the way that the castle looked. I was a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people, I know that it wasn't popular with some people.
Yeah.
But I do think that the look of it, I mean, especially if you compare it to the 25th anniversary, Disney did
what
it
was
up.
That one? What was the 25th?
Was
that the birthday cake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rough.
Like they did a really, really awesome job with the whole branding of the iridescent look. I loved it. I thought it was spectacular looking.
I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying it'll be nice to kind of go back to regular
to normal.
Old yeah.
It's like when you pack up all your Christmas stuff and it's not like you want the Christmas stuff to go away. It's just like, normalcy.
Yeah, cause I really liked it. Like I loved the 50th. I thought it was great. I just that's just like one small little thing. I think also I don't know I don't have any like proof for this. It's just a gut feeling. I feel like Disney might be a little bit less crowded in 2023 this year. The reason I say that is because I think a lot of not everyone's insane and goes to Disney every year. So for people who really wanted to go, I think the 50th was a good excuse, and then they're going to take the next year off. So I have a feeling that it could be a little bit less crowded. And also, 2022 was kind of the year of like revenge travel. Right. Where everyone was back out in the air and going places because we had a couple years of not being able to do that. So I'm almost wondering if like the novelty of being able to travel again is going to wear off a little. The 50th is going to be gone. But there's a lot of new rides and stuff coming that will draw people in. So
I know,
it's hard to say.
I think Disney, they know what they're doing and they strategically plan things out so that there's always something new to bring people in, whether that's the same fans that go every year so that they make sure they don't miss anything new, or the locals who have annual passes or who have been grandfathered in with their annual passes and they want to make sure that they go check out the newest lands or the newest rides. And the way that they space everything out, like the two big things for me this year that I know are going to be fairly popular also. Everybody's been waiting for Tron, and that's going to open sometime in the spring. we see all these videos and photos of it, all of these practice runs, and it looks like it's pretty much almost ready. So I think that's gonna bring a lot of people because
Yeah, it's true.
we don't have anything like it here.
Mhm.
I mean, unless people have gone out to which park is it in? Tokyo
I think it's a
Disneyland?
Tokyo Disney. I think,
Um,
yeah.
I'm not
Or
as
maybe
well
it's just
versed in
Shanghai.
the
I don't
other
remember.
Yeah, I'm not as well versed in the rides that are in the other parks around the world, but
Yeah.
unless people have been lucky enough to go travel to those other parks and ride it, we don't have anything like that here. And then the other
Mhm.
thing that I'm super, super excited about that if we do end up going this Christmas time with my family, would be the Journey of Water,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah,
Moana
yeah.
walkthrough. We have become huge Moana fans in the last like month
I don't
because
know
it
if
is our
I
daughter's
don't
favorite movie.
I don't know if fans is the right word. I think we're kind of like held captive to Moana,
Well,
but
so
it's
Moana was like my favorite recent Disney movie
yeah. I mean, it
in
came out in 2016,
right
November. Uh
of the newer
so
like newest era. I don't even know what era we're in now of Disney princesses and
modern
Disney.
era.
Yes,
Yeah.
the modern era. Moana is my favorite. I love the
Mhm.
story. I love the music. I'm really drawn to the
The water.
style of not actually the water. I don't know what it is about Moana. It's like her desire to be brave and
Uh-huh.
stand up and do something. Yeah, I don't know. I've loved that movie since it came out, and
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to what they do with this. I think the pictures that we've seen of Tafiti, I
Mhm.
think I'm really excited to see this brought to life in Epcot. I think it's going to bring something fresh and new, and I am
Yeah.
looking forward to Epcot not being completely under
Gosh,
construction.
yeah, put that on my list
Yeah,
because I'm I didn't love our time in Epcot when we were there in October because it was just walls on walls on walls, and I was like trying to get to go see Spaceship Earth and toward the end of the day when it was all lit up and doing its light show, and it ended up taking me 3 times as long to get there and back because of the walls. Speaking of Epcot, though, I think that I do think that people are going to be drawn to go back there for a couple of things. Like they're going to have a Figment meet and greet. Did you hear about that?
yeah, that's also I think
Yeah.
towards the end of this year.
Yeah, but I just don't think that's going to draw the crowds that I mean, it may draw like Figment popcorn bucket crowds, but I don't think it's going to be like a sustainable sort of,
Right.
shoulder to shoulder crowd experience.
No, but I think that it is going to definitely pull some people in, and there's so much stuff in Epcot that's big and new for people who haven't been to Disney in 5 years. I mean, think about how many new things are in
Oh yeah, yeah,
Epcot that
yeah.
weren't there 5 years
Yeah.
ago. So
Well,
there's
yeah, that's
huge
true.
things pulling people's attention to so many
Mhm.
different places. So why
Yeah.
not add in a Figment meet and greet and have
Yeah.
people wait in line for
And
5
I
hours?
think that they are doing a good job at like diversifying the things that are coming in because they have like Hatbox Ghost is coming to the Haunted Mansion in Disney and Magic Kingdom for the first time. It's notoriously just been something in Disneyland Park. But that's coming, you've got like some updates on the Jungle Cruise. 2024, which is later, we're having that the Princess and the Frog update
Bayou
on
Adventure?
yeah, the bio adventure on the artist formerly known as Splash Mountain. And then of course like all these other things for like the Encanto, area, Coco and the villains whole like thing that's coming. But those are all like way later. I just don't know if any of those things alone are going to like pull in, big numbers. And I don't think that's such a bad thing.
I think it's so hard to predict because the economy is uncertain every day, right? Like we wake up and we're like, is gas going to be $5 a gallon or is it suddenly going to tank and we're going to be able to afford our groceries again? Or
Yeah,
I think
right.
people with all of the uncertainty of the stance of the economy, it's like, okay, can I plan to spend $5,000 for my family to go do this fancy vacation to Disney World? Or are we not going to be able to bank on being able to afford that this year? You know what I mean? So I think that
Mhm. Right.
definitely is drawing people away from it and people waiting for all of these changes to be done so that they can go, in 2 years when a lot of these things will be added and
Right.
say, let's save up
Yep.
and let's do it when it's all finished, when
Yeah.
there's no more construction in Epcot, when all of these big rides that have been talked about, when Splash Mountain's completely renovated, when Tron is finally open, when
Yeah.
all these things are done. I mean, I think that's a valid point, but I think too, like you said, to your point, not that we're like after COVID, but the post 2 years of pandemic life,
Mhm. Like
people
pre-vaccine days and stuff
right,
like
like
that. Yeah.
people did push all of their vacations to this year and even the end of last year, so the crowds were almost like double. It was like the wedding boom. All of the weddings that were regularly going to happen plus all the ones that were missed all happened at the same time.
Right. Yeah. It was like a huge year for weddings.
Yeah, so I think that the same thing happened with Disney vacations. And so then you have the people who regularly go to Disney, whether it's multiple times a year or even just once a year. That's still a lot for a family or even for a
Yeah.
couple
Totally.
to go once a year. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
and we'll
think we'll just
see.
have to see once we see what changes come with Iger now being in power. I feel like that's how you should word
Well,
it.
he's yeah. I mean, he's manning the ship. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and like, Genie Plus could change. Some things like Magical Express and maybe if not free, but like majorly discounted Magic Bands for people who book vacations could be something that could be an option.
Annual passes
Yeah,
being
exactly.
normal
All that
again,
junk, right?
lightning lanes, not having to pay for rides.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that could change.
Mhm.
I don't know if we'd ever get fast passes back. I don't know if you'd ever get the same perks that you got for staying on property. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know what that looks like in the future, but I think if some of those changes are made, I think it makes a huge difference in
Yeah.
people being able to afford the vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a
I've
big
been
difference.
seeing these videos go around on online of like people posting videos of like the bottom of Small World boats being really dirty. Have you seen
Yeah,
those?
I've seen a handful of
And then like
these.
there's another one in Toy Story Land where like there's black mold on one of the fixtures.
Yeah, and in the people mover, how
Yeah, it's just
nasty it
gross and
is.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering too if there's going to be just like some big upgrades. And I would imagine that a lot of those things are consequences of just the utter demand of people pouring into the parks every day. But I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to see. I don't know. But one thing that I did miss for Disneyland is that the Magic Band is going to be in Disneyland.
Yes.
And you only have the option for Magic Band Plus, which is fine. But it's funny. Before I got my holiday Magic Band Plus from my in-laws, I was planning on just like my first Magic Band Plus was going to be a Disneyland one, like themed to Disneyland and all that. But now I'll just have two, which is great. So I am excited about that.
Was
sure.
it in 2021 that they had started adding the Magic Band scanners in Disneyland and people were all
and you could
like,
only
what
use
is happening?
that wasn't 2021, that was
Was
2019.
2019?
Because we were using
What is
because we were
time?
using them in January 2020. We were using them when we went, and we could only just scan our phones on them, if you recall.
In Disneyland?
Mhm. Yeah, we went to Disneyland for the first time with to go see Galaxy's Edge for the first time. They had those kind of in different areas.
Yeah, I just remember when they started popping up everywhere and people were like, wait, are they bringing Magic Bands to Disneyland? And so finally, here we are
Like
in
a million years later. I
2023.
don't understand why it took so dang long for them to do that.
I know.
It's
It
such
feels
a
like
no-brainer.
you already had all of the technology right there at your fingertips.
Yeah.
So that's exciting things. That's a really big exciting thing.
Yeah. Okay, so the other thing that I'm really excited about Disney-wise this year, and it's coming up in like 2-ish months, is the Disney 100, the exhibition that's opening up in the Franklin Institute. I don't want to give away our OPSEC, so I'm not going to say when we're going, but we are going very, very, very early in its opening. I'm really excited about this. They just actually released, from what I can see, I don't know how long they've been out, but they just released some pictures, artist renderings of what it's going to look like and kind of what the experience flow is going to be. I'll link it in show notes, but it looks like there's going to be 6 different areas. One called Where It All Began. Where do stories come from?
come from.
Comes from. I was distracted because the sentence ended in a preposition. Sources of inspiration, the spirit of adventure and discovery, which looks cool. Adventure and discovery, the Nautilus, and then a day in the parks. And one in the artist rendering, they have a original Space Mountain ride vehicle, and also a pirate ship vehicle from Peter Pan's Flight.
Oh, cute.
So I really can't wait for that.
Yeah,
I
that's gonna
secured
be
my
super
tickets
fun.
like the day they went. I think it was a D23 member early access thing.
Yeah, we got an email or
and
something.
I bought mine immediately, and I can't wait. We're gonna make a day of it. I cannot wait to go.
That's gonna be super exciting.
Yeah, I hope our kid's okay with just like being in a museum, but I think there'll be enough Mickey Mouse to look at and point at and be excited about that it'll make it worth it. But
for sure.
we went to the Franklin Institute 6-7 years ago, and we saw like a Pixar exhibit there, which was great. And I really loved it. And so I'm sure that this Disney one and the parks and history is just going to be
It's gonna be
out of
awesome.
control. Cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
Yeah.
The last Disney-esque thing that I want to mention that I'm really excited about this year are 3 particular films that are coming out, and then we can kind of talk a little bit about if we were to go on a trip this year, what we would like to do a little bit more specifically. I know you've talked a little bit about if we do a Disneyland trip that we want to stay on property, we want to celebrate the 100th, but just like the potential of maybe doing a Disney World trip. So the 3 films that I'm looking forward to this year are Quantumania, which is coming out February 17th. Indiana Jones. This is coming out in June. It's going to be hopefully one of those summer blockbuster things. I could not believe it when you sent me the picture of the de-aging that they did on Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
That
was wild, huh?
That is some Hollywood witchcraft right there.
Yeah, he looks great.
He looked like himself in his 20s or 30s. It was bizarre. So I'm super excited for that one. And then the new Haunted Mansion, which we talked about on one of our previous episodes. So that one's supposed to come out in August. And we've got Winona Ryder. We've got a lot of really great actors and actresses. There's a huge cast for that. So check out our previous episode about some of the Disney media that's coming out. We talked about that a little bit. But those are the 3 big movies that I'm excited for this year.
Yeah, those are going to be great. I'm pretty excited for Quantumania too, even though Marvel films are getting a little bit tired for me.
Okay, but we just introduced Harry Styles into the Marvel universe, so just give me a minute to just
Anyway,
see a few of those movies.
I'm getting a little bit tired of Marvel, but I'm still in, which is a problem. So with that, I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, only because of Baby Rocket. When I saw what the little Baby Rocket looked like, I panicked. That's going to be great. And
His
then
little face is so cute.
You didn't mention Elemental, did you?
Negative, I did.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. And then, of course, Mandalorian Season 3, the Ahsoka series, pretty much just any new Star Wars content. Bad Batch Season 2 is coming out next week. So yeah, those are going to be good. I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff too, for sure. But that's not really Disney park stuff. That's just more like entertainment, I guess.
And still worth mentioning because it's still coming out in 2023. So
yeah.
We've talked a little bit about potential trips for this year. We're thinking maybe a trip to Disneyland sometime in the middle of the year. That may or may not happen pending what we do in the fall or winter in terms of a Disney World trip. So like Steven mentioned, we got some Christmas Disney things from my side of the family. And the talk was maybe let's all do a Disney trip in the wintertime. So if we end up going sometime around Christmas this year, which we have not gone to Disney World at Christmas time. We went to Disneyland at Christmas time several years ago with Steven's family. But if we do go this year to Walt Disney World, what are your thoughts on where you would want to stay if we were to go at Christmas time?
I think
realistically, obviously, we would want to stay at the Polynesian.
Yeah. I think I would probably do the Contemporary. Probably. I think I would like to be on the monorail loop, and I think that's pretty low hanging fruit for for somewhere that we can stay that's not like the most expensive, but also not the total cheapest. It's pretty like I think it's upper middle of the road, Um, and I that's just somewhere we want to stay. I don't know if it would be for that trip necessarily. Realistically, if we're doing both parks in a year, we're probably going to end up at like an Art of Animation Pop Century kind of thing,
Right.
which no problem. Not my all-time favorite, but it's fine. But yeah, I think if I could swing it, I would try to find some deals for the Contemporary and do that.
I think the Art of Animation may be a feasible option for us this year, especially with the little one, because I think it would be the time to stay in the Art of Animation is when we have a little kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she would think it was exciting, and so I think with it being more affordable, whether we do just Disney World this year or both, I think that would be a good option, but my parents just stayed at the Port Orleans French Quarter
Yeah. They really liked it, I
this year.
guess, huh?
They really liked it, and, I that's a place that I mentioned on our show before that I would really love to stay, so I
Yeah.
think that'd be really fun to stay there, try something different. One of the huge perks I know that they had mentioned to us, and we'd love to chat with them more about their experience on that trip, was that every time they left the park, the buses were super empty going back
That
to
is
their
that is definitely something to think
hotel,
about.
so I
Yeah.
think that's great if you don't have to wait for a super crowded monorail. I saw a video today, this is New Year's Eve that we're recording this, and I saw a video today of people waiting for the monorail. Holy cow, I don't know how long those people are gonna be in
Yeah, it's
line, but
tough, man.
it was like they were jam-packed all the way down the ramp. It was chaos. So,
Yeah.
anytime between
Yeah.
Christmas and New Year's, you know what you're getting when you go to Disney World, but
Yeah, right.
wow. So, staying
Yeah.
somewhere where there's only one mode of transportation sometimes may be better because it's probably less crowded.
Is there not a bus that picks you up at the Contemporary? I need to look into that, the routes and
Oh, there's
whatnot.
probably a bus.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just kind of, what I was thinking about that. Um Disneyland, that really is pending. I have family that lives out west, and so the opportunity to visit Disneyland this year is very possible. It just depends on a couple of things, But if we were to do that, we'd like to stay at the what is it, the Grand Anaheim, the Garden. What is that? What is the hotel we like? The Anaheim Garden Grand Hotel,
The
Majestic
Majestic,
Grand.
what is it called?
I don't remember it.
The Anaheim Majestic Garden Hotel.
Yeah, I was so close. We do like staying there because it is actually really affordable, which is nice. And there's a
And it looks
free.
like a
It
castle.
does look like a castle, and there's a free trolley that takes you from the parks to the hotel. That's like what, maybe a 5-minute ride, maybe.
Yeah, it's not far at all. You
Um,
can see the fireworks show from the hotel.
yeah, realistically, we would just probably end up being there again, but I really, really want to stay at the Disneyland Hotel and do that. That's pretty high up on my list of things to do, but the problem is because there's only 3 actual hotels on Disneyland property, and the Paradise Hotel is kind of being renovated to turn into like this new Pixar hotel. Prices are at a premium for those rooms, and it's if you want to not look at like the parking lot or the highway or like homes in Anaheim, California, you're going to be paying quite a bit of money for whatever view you're getting. So I don't really know what we're going to do in that case. But I would prefer to stay at the Disneyland Hotel if we could swing it. It just depends. That's going to really be a toss up, and we're going to have to look at, we're going to have to look at our money to see if we can afford it or not.
And that may have to be one of those save for trips where we
Yeah.
save for staying in the Disneyland Hotel.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, even like, um, yeah, I mean, even like yesterday, we're talking about planning out in the next, I don't know, 3 years or so, how we're gonna get to Alani, like what we need to do to prepare for that. I just took a water break.
I noticed.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you're thinking about or excited about or anything like that? Or are you feeling kind of just like ready to get on with New Year's Eve and party it up?
That was it. Yeah, party it up, meaning go watch the next hour's worth of countdown and drink some sparkling cider.
I do not want to watch the next hour's worth of countdown, but I will do it because for some reason it's tradition, and I always have to end my year with Ryan Seacrest, I guess.
Well, there's always something Disney related, whether it's a Disney person or
like John
songs
Stamos or
whatever.
something. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for us on this episode of the Parks Academy. We really do appreciate everyone who listens, and I also just wanted to say thanks to everyone who was really, really cool and supportive of us taking a break. I put out a post for it, and we got like a bunch of messages and comments, people saying, that we deserve it, which I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate you saying that. As always, you can find us on, Instagram at the Parks Academy. Our website is theparksacademypod.com. We are on other social media platforms, but primarily Instagram is kind of our spot that we like to hang out at. We do have a Patreon if you would like to put some dollars towards supporting the show. That's a really, really good New Year's resolution, and we would appreciate it. So thanks so much again for listening, and we will catch you next time.